Yeah. Pro Fan Sports Podcast. Let's get it. Pro Fan. Tune into the program. Every single week, get the dope, fam. Sean on the mic, very flat too. Keep you updated, that's what we do. Pro Fan. Tune into the program. Pro Fan. Tune into the program. Pro Fan. Tune into the program. Every single week, get the dope, fam.
Yo, what to do, everybody? It's your boy John Altidor with Pro Fan Sports Podcast. Back at you with another one of my boys, Vlad, Barry. What's going on, fellas? How y'all doing?
Doing good, man. How you guys doing?
Shoot, doing great, man. Excited and nervous at the same time, but feeling pretty good and and feeling ready for another show, another great episode. So we know we got a lot to talk about. There's a lot been happening and going on, so I'm looking forward to chopping it up with you guys as always.
I'm a little nervous, man. I'll be honest here, man, because what's today? Monday, June 13th. We're going into Golden State for Game 5. It is now a 3-game series, best of 3. Anyway, so definitely nervous because we don't have home court advantage. We did have it, and then we let it slip away.
Right.
And so, yeah, I'm definitely nervous. Do I think we can still do something? I still believe, but we're taking the hard road here. And for those tuning in, we're talking about the Golden State versus Celtics finals. In the NBA right now with the series tied 2-2, man. We saw a few days ago, Game 4. Seemed like the Celtics forgot how to play in the last, 6 minutes of the game?
7:32 to be exact. They scored 6 points in the last 7:32.
Yeah.
Of the fourth quarter.
What made me upset was when we were down 3 points and we just kept chucking up the threes instead of attacking the basket and attacking the pin and at least get a free throw or a foul or something going, get a 2-pointer going. Like, I think that frustrated me more than anything. And also everybody, Jayson Tatum and Jaylen Brown, the two main superstars in the Celtics, they kept deferring to Marcus Smart, who's not a shooter, was not a scorer. Why are you deferring to Marcus Smart? And Marcus Smart ended up taking 18 shots in the game for 18 points, but that's really not on Marcus. It's on those guys that weren't making shots, and especially Jayson Tatum. I mean, Jayson Tatum is, everybody's talking about it, right? Jayson Tatum wants to be Kobe. He wears the Kobe armband. He wears the Kobe whatever Kobe was wearing to audition for the Celtics. He was
the workout uniform, the workout gear, right?
He texted
Kobe. Was that? Did you guys think he really did that, or was that media?
He did that. He did that.
Like,
no, that was on him.
He really did that. You think he was like, "Yo, let me"?
Yeah, come on, bro.
Oh yeah, of course.
He texted Kobe, but you ain't playing like Kobe. You know what I mean? Like, but you ain't playing like Kobe. Like, you're not doing anything Kobe was doing. Was taking his team. You know what I mean? So I think what this Jayson Tatum is scared of. He's scared of losing the game for the Celtics. And what Kobe did most of the time was, I don't care if we lose or if we win, it's gonna be my fault. If we lose, it's gonna be my fault. If we win, it's gonna be my fault. And I think Jayson Tatum is scared of that. He only wants to take the shots if we're gonna win. But I think sometimes when you get to be a superstar like Jayson Tatum is, you kind of have to be able to carry your team and to be able to take the fall, even if it's your fault that we lose, but you know that you are doing everything you can to leave everything on the floor. And I think he's afraid of doing that.
So pretty much what you're saying, Vlad, is that he's playing scared.
I think so. I really think so. I think when the shots are falling, especially last game, early in the game, you could tell the shots was falling, he was hitting them. Once they stopped falling, he was passing the ball to Marcus Smart, Jaylen Brown. Jaylen Brown seems like he plays with more of a brave heart exactly, with more of a force than Jason Tatum does. But
Mhm.
Yeah, I seen somewhere that somebody wrote, Jason Tatum has the talent, but Jaylen Brown has the dog in him.
yeah, I mean, Jason Tatum has the dog too, but I just think sometimes he just shies away from it. You know what I mean? And I think because of that, I just don't know if we're ready. I don't know if we're ready for that championship. Like, if you look at the way we played against the Nets was great, right? We beat them, we swept them. The way we played against the Bucks, we had a chance to close the series. We did it. Or not close the series, to move up on the series, and we didn't. So we had to wait till our back was against the wall to actually do something. And it was great. We actually won game six. Justin Tatum had an unbelievable game six, an unbelievable game seven. But against Miami, we did everything we could to give that series away. Everything. So I just, as much as I want the Celtics to win, and I hope we do, and I want to see a parade. I want to see those guys who host the championship. I just don't know if they're ready. I just think there's that maturity that they're missing, like the maturity that the Golden State Warriors certainly have. Those guys, they've been there 6 times, 5 times in the last 6 years, so they have it. They're not gonna. I think Steph Curry is smelling it too. He's smelling the opportunity for an MVP of the finals and a fourth finals. So um, if we don't come out and punch them in the mouth early in this game,
You think it's gonna be an
It get ugly, right?
explosion?
yeah,
It get
yeah.
ugly in a
If it's
hurry.
if it's a close game,
Mm.
yeah,
You
I
think
don't
he'll
know.
put down on us? I mean, with the game and how it ended, um, and like you said, Jason Tatum, the stars were deferring to, the role players at the end, essentially. Um, do you
Right,
guys
which
think
is
that on?
ridiculous.
Do you think that's on the players, or do you think Coach Ime has some blame to take for that? Because it's like, what are we saying when that's happening? Because I know we're taking timeouts.
What do you think, Barry?
I mean, I think I mostly put it on, the players. I mean, I think there's only so much can do. I know one of the games he uh, told them to stop playing like assholes, and they got it together. I think what was it, game three? That was when they pretty much gave up that lead. That thing 18-point
17
lead they had in the
Mhm.
third quarter, and Golden State actually took the lead, even though it was very briefly that they had the lead. But there was a stretch there in which they played like absolute dog shit, to say the least. And I think it's just really on the players that they don't have that level of consistency that you need to have in order to win the finals and to win a championship and to be championship caliber. At this point in time, I just feel as though like there's sometimes it's sporadic. They'll play like sometimes they'll play really well where they move the ball, share the ball. They'll play within the flow of the offense. They'll have good possessions. They'll take and make good shots and stuff. And then there's just other times that like game four where they go ice cold, colder than the North Pole, and can throw the ball in the ocean and just are revert back to their old bad habits that they had way back in December. When this team was losing games and finding ways to lose and giving up games particularly in the second half. So I think it's a combination of those things, and I just feel like the players have to take more accountability and say, hey, this is a problem that we have, and that there's times where we revert back to these extremely bad habits that we have, that we need to fix it. We need to catch ourselves doing these things that we're not supposed to be doing, and we need to adjust and correct it right on the flying game, and to get back to what we do best in playing the way that we're supposed to play. And I think certainly that starts with the two superstars, and Tatum and Brown. But then it'll follow suit with everyone else if both of those guys are playing the way they're supposed to play. But I mean, it honestly really starts with Jayson Tatum, like you guys said. If the series really comes down to can Jayson Tatum be the best player on the court, and can he actually dominate and be that elite, high talented, all NBA player that we've all seen in stretches and in certain moments throughout this postseason and season? Can he live up to that, for the rest of the series? I think that's really what this boils down to, and what is gonna be the difference, whether the Celtics become champions and get banner 18 this year, or whether they end up coming up short and Golden State wins their fourth championship in the last 8 years. Right, 8 years since they've been to 6. So we'll see what happens with that. But I certainly think that's really what this series is gonna come down to, is if Jayson Tatum can really get back to playing like a superstar that he's capable of playing and doing on a nightly basis.
Man, for me, I feel like the Celtics still have the better team. We have the better pieces right now. Draymond Green's not giving them shit.
Right, he's a liability.
Yo, we should have Draymond. It'll be so cool if we could have Draymond on our podcast.
Would y'all like to have him on here?
I don't know if Draymond will want to come on a Boston podcast, since everything is.
Nah, we got to talk some shit to Draymond, because Draymond cannot be talking all that shit and putting single triples, my dude. Like,
I mean, that's the point.
Triple single.
Draymond's virtually been unplayable in this whole series. And, usually when Draymond's not playing up to his potential, the Warriors don't do anything. You know what I'm saying?
I disagree. They actually played better without Draymond. And in Game 4, that pretty much was a prime example of that.
I'm talking about overall. Draymond is the engine on that team. He handles the ball. He's taking the assists. Like, come on, man. Everybody knows that. Even himself, he says, when I'm playing up to my potential, he's starting things on defense. He's doing communicating out there. Yes, Curry shoots the ball, and Clay, they shoot the ball. But Draymond is really a key to success for that team, and he's not even doing that. And my point is, it's like, Draymond's not playing to his potential. Like, we should be killing this team. Poole is not dropping 18 a game. Clay has had one good game this whole series. He
made some big shots in Game 4, though.
Right, but he's only really had one good game in this series.
Right, in Game 3. Right, went off for what, 35?
Right, he went for 25 and
35.
I feel like he went for 25. He didn't score 35.
No, because Curry had 34. My fault. Got the numbers mixed up. My fault.
And I just feel like if the yes, I get it. Sometimes the shots are not going to fall. But, like, if you're playing your hardest at all times, I think the Celtics win, regardless of what's going on. Even Ime Udoka says, even with Steph going off, like, the Warriors are averaging the same amount of points at the end of the game that they've been averaging this whole time. We only lose when our offense is not doing anything, the way they should be doing stuff. And I know it has been beaten to death. The turnovers are crazy to me.
Of course.
It's
Seriously.
like,
my goodness.
why are you guys throwing this ball? Like, I've seen these Celtics just throw the ball straight to the Golden State Warriors team, like, on several occasions. Okay, Marcus Smart has done it. Jaylen Brown, I don't know, all of a sudden forgets how to dribble sometimes. Jayson Tatum's throwing it straight to guys. You know what I'm saying? And then they get free throw issues. Like, what's his name? Peyton Pritchard like missed 2 free throws last game after
What?
gifted. You know, after he traveled and was gifted 2 free throws, you like we're not taking.
But he didn't miss a free throw the whole regular season.
We're not taking.
Peyton Pritchard, that he's like money from the free throw line, as money as Steph Curry is from the free throw line, or close to it, pretty much. So no, that's.
I know he was at like 90% this year, and I'm like, how you
right,
you know,
exactly.
Jaylen Brown too. I'm like, dude, how you like? They're free. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
but that's always been a weakness in his game, John. It's his free throw shooting.
Robert
I
Williams
guess he needs to work on that.
Robert Williams is making more free throws than our stars are.
No,
you know, like Robert Williams gets his free throws, and I'm like, how you guys not? They're free. You know, that's my main thing. They're free, dude. You need, like, they're given to you, man. Concentrate. Do whatever. Take 10 dribbles like Giannis does. Do whatever.
But you have 10 seconds to do
whatever
you want, whatever you need to do to make that shot.
And I just think, man, sometimes we're not playing with force. You know, we're not playing together. And, like, even, listen, this whole Kobe stuff gets on my nerves. Of
course.
Listen. Kobe.
And that's really annoying to y'all?
Yes, man. If anything, Kobe
if we are winning, it would have been beautiful. Because he would have been like, yo, he's channeling his inner Kobe. But we're not winning. So what's the point of doing that? Like, it's becoming annoying.
Listen.
I mean, it's his idol, though. So, of course, there's going to be a lot of talk about that and the person that he, you know, looked up
play like
and really, you know, Kobe took him under his wing and mentored him.
Like
so there's going to be a lot of discussion.
But he's not playing like it, though.
I'm tired of this Kobe taking
he's
it on.
He's not playing like it, though.
Too, man. Like, Kobe died how long ago?
Jayson 2 years ago. More than 2 years ago.
Jayson Tatum's been in the league like 5 years. Like, what are we talking about here? Like, you had one practice with this guy. I'm tired of the narrative. We get it, man. That's your favorite player. But it's like, if you're going to keep talking about that, wear him on your freaking shirts, you know, wear him on the sleeves. Like, at the end of the games, like, yo, we see Kobe shooting over 4 dudes in some games. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that's what you need to be doing, but that dude right there, he was a different animal, man. And for people to be throwing this shit lightly, you know, around these, I just don't like it. And then, you know, I think it's embarrassing that I don't know what's going on with this whole Steph Curry situation. I heard Magic Johnson's talking about even if the Golden State Warriors lose, Steph Curry should get the finals. I'm like, yo, what do you guys think about that? What is that? What is the craze about getting Steph Curry a finals MVP? It's like,
because he hasn't gotten one yet.
So what?
What do you mean? Like, so what?
You got
one of the greatest players, the greatest shooters in this, you know, in the NBA history has been to 6 finals and not 1 finals MVP. Like
that.
I mean, I guess it's Steph's in a sense, but I mean, there's been other guys that I've played better than him in the finals that deserved it more, and that ended up getting it because they had a better performance in the finals than him.
My only thing around that is when LeBron played them, what was that, in 2016? The guy was dropping 40 a game and lost the series and still didn't get the finals MVP. So why are we making such a case for Steph Curry?
Well, I think well, I want to agree with you, John. When you started, you said we have the better team. We clearly have the better team, but Steph Curry is just playing out of his mind right now, and he's the only consistent player from the Warriors that's really making an impact every single night. And you gotta say he won the game for them the last game, which was Game 4.
Absolutely.
They don't win. I mean, I don't care about the Steph Curry MVP shit. Like, I feel the same way you feel. Like, he got championships. Who cares about the MVPs? Right?
Man.
Yeah, exactly. I don't care. Like, that doesn't matter to me, right? So we all know who Steph Curry is. Like, even without the MVPs, we know who that is. You know what I'm trying to say?
Change the game. What more do you need?
But if he wins, if the Golden State Warriors win, he deserves that MVP.
Of course.
He's gonna get it, definitely. That's not even debatable.
Yeah, but we have the better team. They only have Steph Curry that's really making an impact. I mean, obviously the other guys are, participating in making an impact as well. But he's really the main star that's consistently making an impact on the floor, even when they lose, right? So I think if they win, he wins that. He wins that chip, the MVP trophy. But because the Celtics have the better team, the Celtics should win. Whoever has the better team should win. But if Steph Curry pulls it out of his ass and get them the championship, he deserves that more than anything.
No, definitely. I mean, he certainly does deserve that. Without question. I think there's no doubt about it. And with the Celtics having the better team, I don't know, guys, because they can be better on paper, but it's certainly not looking like that on the court, particularly, in game 4 when, Golden State's, role players really stepped up and were stars in their role. And I'm talking about, Andrew Wiggins, had what, think he had a double-double, had 15 rebounds. Had, what was and he played extremely well. Kevon Looney, who was a force on the boards and on defense and absolutely dominated. In terms of rebounding, like they're getting more contributions from their role players consistently than than the Celtics are. So to me, like, everybody's saying they're the better team, but I think it's pretty close. It's pretty even with these teams. And when Steph Curry's playing like that, and playing the way that he is, I mean, it's extremely difficult for me to see the Celtics win this series, because if Steph Curry continues to be the best player on the court, I don't think the Celtics really have a chance in winning this series if his play, continues and he's this dominant. In this dominant, I don't really see the Celtics winning this series. And
Celtics in 6.
I did, but I didn't think Steph Curry would be dominant to this extent.
Stick with your
to this extent. I didn't think he'd be dominating the best player on the court for this long, for throughout the first 4 games and actually cooking us, and with us making no adjustment whatsoever. Like, what's with all the drop coverages that we're playing against this guy? Why in the world are you playing drop coverage on the pick and roll against Steph Curry? Like, that's a cardinal sin. Like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, you got to be up on the screen, and you either fight through it, or that guy, whoever's, defend the guy who sent the pick, has to be up on the 3-point line and make him put it on the floor and give up the ball, or try to, take it, into the paint and stuff, because you cannot just time and time again let the guy just take one dribble off the screen and shoot, because he's going to make it every time. And by the time you try to close out on him, it's too late, because he just needs a quick second and get that shot off, and boom, it's going in. So it's like the lack of adjustments that I'm seeing from the Celtics is alarming to me and very concerning. And it's something that I hope we start seeing some adjustments tonight, because if we don't, I don't know how much of a chance we are going to have in winning the series. And I want to see them defend Steph Curry better, because that's how it starts. You cannot continue to let this man go off and cook you and give you buckets and dominate the way he's been doing in this series. So that leads me to my question for you guys. What adjustments do the Celtics need to make starting in Game 5 tonight, if they're going to not only win Game 5 but win this series?
I think in order for us to win the series, Jayson Tatum has to be better. Jayson Tatum has to be Jayson Tatum, and he has to be a superstar, and he has to score at least 30 points, but also just get everybody involved and just be a constant presence throughout the game. He cannot disappear the way he disappeared in Game 4, toward the end of the game, the way he disappeared. Even in Game 1, I mean, Game 1 he had a great stat line with 13 assists, which was great. But
And
even then,
turnovers.
even then, but you just expect a little more out of your superstar players, and because look at Jimmy Butler, the way Jimmy Butler showed up for the Heat. We need Jayson Tatum to show up in that same manner, right? Like Jimmy Butler just showed up and he showed you whenever I need to be a superstar, I'm gonna be a superstar. And to me, that's what we need. But I also agree with you that we need to play better defense against Steph Curry. I think I disagree with you in the sense that Steph Curry is always gonna be the best player on the floor. I think that's always gonna happen, and I'm okay to live with that. As long as we play not only better defense on him, but better defense on his supporting cast. Better defense on Clay, because Clay is eventually going to have another good game. Better defense on Poole. And Draymond, we don't have to worry about Draymond. But better defense on the whole supporting cast as a whole. And I think Williams is going to be key in that, and that's why I don't think Williams is going to miss any game. I think having Williams in help us neutralize Looney and the paint in general. So for me, it's Jayson Tatum having a better game, better defense on Curry, and the rest of the guys.
I think it's consistent play, man. Like, you guys have to have consistent play. Like, you can't start off hot. Jaylen Brown has had really great first quarters, right? And then second half comes, these guys disappear. Like, you can't win like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, the game is not won in the first 2 quarters. Like, the third quarter, it's like, dude, we've been playing this team long enough to know. Third quarter, they're going to make moves. Like,
gonna make a run. That's when they make their push.
Why are you guys not ready for this? You know what I'm saying? Like, we're going into the half with a lead, and then, within minutes in the second half, they're up on us. It's like, how is it? Like, did you guys forget how to play when you went in there, or you figure, hey, we're up 10 points, we got the game? Like, you can't do that. You know what I'm saying? So absolutely consistent play. The drop coverage stuff, I think it's habitual stuff for them. You know what I mean? And like Marcus Smart was saying, this is not the Heat. We're not playing the Heat. You can't drop. You know what I'm saying? I feel like
exactly.
They grew a habit of doing that in the last couple of series, and they continue to do that. It's like, no, you got to be up there. And I've seen Robert Williams. He's actually learned a little bit because he's improved in that area. Because I see him, he keeps coming up on the key. But Al Horford, I'm seeing him doing the same shit over and over. Al, are you forgetting? Like, you're playing Steph Curry, man. Like, you got to be more alert. And ball movement, man. Ball freaking movement. Like, we cannot get stagnant in the second half of games. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're not playing hero ball. I don't want to see Marcus Smart heaving three after three. Like, we're down 3 points. Somebody drive the fucking ball. You know what I'm saying? And I agree with Vlad, man. Listen, Jimmy Butler is not a better player than Jayson Tatum, in my opinion. But what he does do is he's consistent at getting to his spot and raising up for that shot, man, that little mid-range that he's good at. And it's like the same thing with KD. Like, these guys know their bread and butter, all right? And Jayson Tatum needs to figure that out. Like, bro, you are, 6'10". Most of the time, you can raise up and fire on anybody on the court. For Bielika to be like stopping you in the game, like, what the fuck is that? Bielika, I'm like, what?
Bro, who the hell is he? Right? Who the fuck is he?
Like, how is this possible right now?
Just to add to what you're saying, John, I think one of the things that frustrated me with Jayson Tatum and the Kobe thing is that when Kobe gets in the paint, Kobe had like 10 moves.
Yo,
who's to score on you? Jayson Tatum has 1 move.
Oh yeah, that little.
I'm he has that 1 move. So I need more. But yeah, go ahead though.
Yeah, nah, man, you're right. Like that's what I'm saying. These guys are taking minimal dribbles and just raising up and hitting that mid ranger. You know what I'm saying? Like, he has it in the bag. You have that in your bag, Jayson Tatum. So
Right, we've seen it. Right.
You know what I mean? Jaylen Brown, I feel like he takes really difficult, mid-ranges at times, based on all the moves that he's making. But Jayson Tatum, you have the length and you have the height enough to shoot it over anybody on that team, even Kevon Looney, because that guy can't get up like that. You know what I'm saying? He's not a high flyer. You can get up on anybody, and I feel like, I don't know, watch these games, as I know you're watching highlights, to psych yourself up. All these guys got a go-to move, man. And at this point, I don't know what Jayson Tatum's go-to move is yet. You know what I mean?
Isn't that step back three, that side step that he does?
Man, that's a hard shot, you know what I mean? And he's not consistent with it.
Well, no, the side step three, it's whatever, right? That's his shot. We all know as soon as he said it, that's what Barry said. But sometimes that shot is not falling.
Exactly.
Right.
So once you get into the paint, once you get into the paint, then what's your shot once you get into the paint? Like once KD gets in the paint, he has that. He has that too. You know what I'm trying to say? Like
he has an arsenal of moves.
Exactly.
Right.
What's your shot? Even Jaylen Brown has. When Jayson Brown get into the paint, he goes around the free throw line. That jump shot is falling maybe like, I don't know,
60% of the time.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't know what that is for Jayson Tatum.
You know what I mean?
I don't know what that is for Jayson Tatum. But I had a question for you guys.
I like when he drives, and his layup package. But if that's not falling, do something else. Because I've seen him attempt so many of those and not make it in, and I'm like, dude, it's not falling for you tonight. Do something else.
Adjust, exactly.
You have to adjust, man. And like I said, man, I'm definitely nervous, for this game 5 right here, because I feel like right now Golden State has the momentum, based on how the last couple of games have gone, but I know that the Celtics have one game, at least 2 games on teams' floors this whole postseason. So I don't think this is something that they can't do. They're 2-2, so they can beat this team. I just need that consistent play, and we need to see it throughout the game. And that's
48 minutes, yeah. 48
minutes, you know what I'm saying? Like they need a Bill Belichick pep talk out here. 60 minutes, fellas, not 48 minutes, man.
Exactly.
Like the whole time we're focused on the game. And Al Horford, man,
let me ask you guys a question about that.
Yeah.
So a lot of time when the pick and roll happens, Al Horford is the one that's picking up Steph Curry, and usually he doesn't close Steph Curry fast enough before Steph get the shot off. Should we get somebody else in there? And by somebody else, and maybe this is a stupid question, but you can let me know. By somebody else, I mean Grant Williams.
I feel like Grant Williams is a walking foul, man. Like he's been getting, 4 fouls within like 10 minutes every time he goes in the game. You know what I mean? And I feel like he's doing too much extracurricular activities with fucking Draymond Green. Like, bro, you're not in here to antagonize Draymond Green, man. Draymond's gonna do Draymond shit regardless of what you do. Just play your game and focus. You're the 3-and-D guy. Play defense and relocate, bro. You know what I mean? And I do feel like he does better, but like he's committing a lot of fouls out there, and I feel like that's why he hasn't been available.
And the reason why I asked that question is because you have Al Horford was a little older, not as fast, a little slower. But if you have somebody that's as young as Grant Williams, maybe he can close that space a lot quicker, a lot sooner. But I don't know. I'm not the coach. Ime Udoka is, so.
You know what I thought you were going to say? I thought you were going to say Daniel Tice. I'm like, oh,
no.
No.
I thought about him already. Nah.
No.
We haven't seen him all series.
We haven't. We've seen him in like, 2 minutes.
For a reason.
Yeah. I thought he would actually be playable in this series, and he just like doesn't do anything well enough,
he just commits so many fouls.
Yo, he's a walking foul too.
Oh yeah.
He's a walking foul too, man.
But, absolutely.
Who do you guys got tonight, man? Because we're at the end of the show here. Who do you guys got tonight?
I mean, I think if it's like I said, this is my. I know I have to pick something, but if the Celtic comes out and punches him in the mouth, and by punching him out, it can be 10 points because that team scores 10 points in 30 seconds.
30 seconds.
It has
Oh,
to
yeah.
be.
Oh
It
yeah.
has to be 20 plus points, like literally.
Going into the second half, you mean?
Kind of, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
20 to 25.
yeah, yeah.
Right.
If it's a close game and Steph Curry's having a Steph Curry, even if he's not having a Steph Curry game, I think those guys are too savvy, too experienced in the finals. They're smelling blood to not actually get blood. You know what I'm trying to say? Like
Mhm.
they've been there before. They know what it's like. They know what it takes to win. So you're giving them a chance to win, and I just don't think they're gonna let it go unless you come out and say, "Nah, this is mine."
So then, who you got tonight? With that,
Come
being
on,
said?
Barry. I gave that whole thing so that I didn't have to pick somebody. Nah,
You were going around the question, but you weren't answering it. I was sitting here waiting for your answer. So you wanted me to answer the question?
no, I'm picking the Celtics.
Okay. All right. So, I mean, this is a tough pick for me because I'm about to go, against my pick that I originally had. I originally had Celtics in 6, but the way that I'm seeing with the way this series has been going, I think the Warriors are going to win tonight, and then the Celtics are going to win Game 6, and then we're going to have a Game 7 in the Bay in Golden State to determine the NBA champion and the and determine the winner of the finals. So
So who do you got?
as much as I don't want to see that and would like to see the Celtics, win tonight and win in Game 6 and close it out in 6 games, I honestly have a very difficult and hard time seeing Golden State lose this game tonight. Especially as strong of a home team as they are and as much, momentum as they have going for them and as confident as they play, at home with not only Steph Curry, but the rest of those, role players, important cats play with a ton of confidence, and energy, you know what I'm saying, and intensity at home. I think that's, going to be tough for the, Celtics to match. I mean, they're capable of matching that, but they're going to have
Barry,
to play.
just give us the winner, man. Just give us the winner.
I just said who was going to win.
All right.
Listen, I said
So
Golden
you got
State's
Golden
going to win
State, right?
tonight,
You
and then
got
the
Golden
Celtics
State.
are going to win on Game 6, and we'll
All
have
right,
a Game
all right.
7 in Golden State.
Let's move on here, man.
Who do you got, John?
I mean, the Celtics have not lost 2 games in a row this whole postseason. So I'm going to put a little trust in the Celtics to take this game tonight, because I feel like they know when they have to perform, and they perform throughout the game. And hopefully, they come in with the right mindset and take this game, even though I know how hard it is. So I'm picking the Celtics to win this game tonight, but that's not with, utmost confidence. You know what I'm saying? I'm just going with what, and if they do win tonight, they would be setting a new record with, winning games after they lost. This would be the 8th time in a row that they've done that. So they would be setting a record in NBA history. So Celtics for the win tonight, getting that record and bring it back home to hopefully close this thing out. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I think that's what it is, man.
All right.
So, yeah, me too. So, wanted to ask you all this: how confident or how much trust you have in Robert Williams that he'll be healthy enough to play well and be effective for the rest of this series?
Rob Williams has been effective in every game he's played, no matter how many minutes he's had.
I think.
His minutes are always effective.
Yeah, I think I'm with John. I think Robert Williams is gonna play very sustainable minutes for the rest of the series, and he's gonna be effective. I mean, he's not 100%, right, but he's probably 75, 80% or whatever it is, And sometimes toward the end of the game, you can see him hobbling a little bit out there. And I think that comes with the territory. But I think at the end of the day, I think some of the minutes that he's played has been very impressive. I think some of the shots that he blocked, especially game 3, I believe, were very, very impressive. And I think, especially with the 2 days off in between those, what was up with that? What was up with 1 game off between that game?
I'm not sure what that was,
Like
man.
that, I just don't understand sometimes. You know what I mean? So especially with the 2 days off, I think you're gonna see a different Robert Williams. I think if he always gets 2 days off, he's gonna be that shot blocker, terrorizing the defense, securing the paint. Robert Williams.
Right. No, I totally, with you guys and get what you're saying. But I don't know. To me, it's like I think he can only play a certain amount of minutes. Like once he plays, gets close to that 30-minute range, close to the end of that time, he starts, getting, tired and not being as effective and having as much of an impact and in effect, on the game and stuff. Like he'll be, good into the first half or good for the first part of his minutes, but then, towards, the second part of his minutes and, in the later, minutes that he plays, he starts kind of like, declining and, his play goes down. I don't know if you've noticed that, but that's just something, I've picked up, on as, the series has gone on. So I'm just hoping that he can be able to, last long enough and play well for long enough, and be able, like you said, to sustain that, the level of play, on both ends of the floor that he can certainly make a tremendous amount of impact on. I'm hoping that he can, be able to keep that up for the pretty whole duration of the time that he's on there, not just for some, of it, but, for pretty much all, every minute that he's out there. So we'll see what happens, but I still think he's, those injuries come to kind of, bite him in the ass and come in and definitely have a negative effect, on him and his mobility. Like sometimes he just doesn't move right or, move as quickly as he should. And, Golden State, at times can, has been able to take advantage of that. So hopefully that's not the case. And hopefully we can see, the Time Lord be the best version of himself starting in Game 5 tonight.
Yes, sir, man. I mean, what more can we say? Go Celtics, man. And you know what? We're gonna call it for the night. If you're watching, we want to thank you for watching. Make sure you're following us on all our platform. We're at ProFan Sports on every platform except for Instagram, and that's at ProFans_sports. We drop every week. We appreciate your support. Like, subscribe to the channel, share these videos, comment on it, debate us a little bit. So until next episode, man, we'll catch y'all.
Here we go.
Energy.
Go Seas, baby. Go Seas. Let's go. Let's get this championship. Hopefully the next time we're on here, we're NBA champs.